Hello again, how are we? Are we feeling fucking autumnal? Put pumpkins out? I've got a wee candle. Look, it's actually a Halloween candle. Hold on, can I bring it in close? Look, it's got cats, spiders and things on it. It's an actual Halloween candle. Oh god, that's heavier than I thought to pick up. Anyway, this is gonna be my indie brand roundup haul type thing of things that I've picked up over the last, I want to say 2 months, 3 months possibly, of indie brands that I have been really enjoying, why I like them, why I would pick them up again, or maybe what things I would skip out on. But yeah, just to give a little shout out to a lot of little indie brands, mainly based in the UK, I think. No, tell a lie, there's 2 UK and 2 kind of European. Is Ace Beauty European? That might be American. I don't know. Anyway, as usual, if you are new around here, hi, hello, how are you? And if you are returning, then thank you very fucking much for coming back. There is going to be a little bit of swearing in this. I like to drop the old F-bomb, but it's not because I'm particularly rude, it's just because I'm Scottish and it rolls off the tongue. That's my excuse and that's what I'm sticking to. If you want to see what these indie brands are all about, what they are like, and basically what I think of them, then keep watching. Now, normally I do tell you, go and grab a cuppa, but I've literally just finished mine, so gonna have to do this without a cuppa. Also, just a little side note here, you know how I love them, you know how I love a tangent. Mentioned in one of my later videos that I was getting this mop cut, and now I am in isolation. 2 weeks worth of isolation. I'm not positive, I'm actually negative for COVID. Unfortunately, I came into a positive contact with someone. I work in a hospital, it's not the end of the world. And obviously when you're working in the hospital, we are wearing PPE, appropriate PPE at all times when we need to. But sometimes you go on a lunch break with someone, you're not gonna be like, you gotta eat your food, you gotta take your mask off. These things happen. And so, turned out somebody was positive and that's me. Locked down for 2 weeks. So, making the most of it, trying to make as many videos as I can while I'm at home. Yeah, that's the gist of it. Right, I'm going to start off with lip products, I want to say. Because, will I start off with lip? No, let's start off with eyeshadows. Because, first of all, I'm coming a little closer. I've got this kind of like golden green, smoosh, brown, warm thing going on today. I actually have green in the waterline as well. I think it's just rubbed off a little bit. And what I've got in my eye today is this. This is from Unique Beauty. I'm just looking at my phone. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my phone. I want to make sure I'm getting things right here. I'm sure Unique Beauty are a black owned business and they are based in London. It actually doesn't say on their like about though. You know, like how there's usually an about part on the website. It doesn't actually say, and I don't want to presume, but I do believe this is a black owned beauty company. They actually do little like 5-pan palettes and things like that as well. They look like they might kind of be a little bit more famed for their foiled and glitter shadows, I want to say. I don't know, they've got like individual shadows, can I show you? They sell them all individually, but they also do palettes, and if you want to find this, I found it under the mini palette section. I'll put up a little screen record so you can see what I'm talking about. So they do 5-pan palettes for £13.50, which is really, really reasonable. And like a number of kind of shade ranges, like kind of blue, green, more warm tones as well. But this was called the Beauty Magazine. Now this is the PR box basically that you could pre-order. So I did do that. I want to say I'd done it back in July sometime, but it came out in September. This is actually sold out now, but you can get the individual palettes that are inside it separately, and they are £14.99 each. Now it looks to me like Girls Trip is sold out, but Nightlife and Fashionista are still available. So let me just show you inside. Now I have to say, like, this kind of spoke to me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it is a little cheesy, but because I went and studied fashion London and things like that, I'm like, I can see how it's like a fashion magazine, that's good. And it came in this little box and you get your 3 palettes in the box, and I just like the fact that I know that'll just be able to slip in a drawer somewhere and I'm not going to be rustling about for all these palettes. But also these are tiny, they're like little passport size, a little bit smaller than passports, but little passport size palettes that you could easily take with you traveling. I've still got the like plastic bit on the top because I don't want them getting too fucked up basically. So this one is more kind of pink undertones, but it's got this amazing foiled blue. The foiled shadows are unreal. They're so amazing. This colour as well was beautiful. This today, actually, I forgot, I put this on the outer edge here. I thought it was just Fashionista and Nightlife that I used, but actually I put that right on the outer edge there. It is a little more pink toned, but I think it works well. I'm just going to swatch the blue one for you, which is called Selfie, just so you can get an idea of how absolutely stunning these shadows are. It's unbelievable. Look at that. They're foiled amazingness. Now I haven't used that blue one yet. It's all over my finger now. Now personally, I think this one is probably sold out because it's probably the most everyday wearable. Like people could just sweep on, although maybe not the blue, but I do find it's probably most user friendly. But personally, it's probably not the first one I would reach for. The first one I would reach for is probably going to be Fashionista. I love the fact that they're like these little books. I think they're so cute. So Fashionista has these red, it's almost like a traffic light, if I'm honest with you. There's like a bright red, a bright orange, this beautiful green colour, and then these three frosts here, and this one here, it's called Helping the Economy, is what I've got in the middle of my eye today. Now my camera is not going to do it justice, that's the honest truth. It's beautiful. It's like this golden green colour. It's absolutely stunning. And I think this is the one I will probably reach for most, because these are just tones that are right up my street, to be honest with you. They go with my colouring, they suit me. It's probably one that I'm going to be at all the time. But Nightlife is probably the one that I will reach for second, because again, I just think this one is, it's maybe a little more user friendly than Fashionista, but these are colours that we're going into the winter. I'm like, yeah, there's gold. I love gold and teal, and that is like the most beautiful teal colour you'll see there. Then there's this beautiful matte blue. It's like a royal blue as well. This is almost the perfect colour for my skin tone. I actually done swatches and put them up on Instagram, and you can actually barely see that on my skin because it's such a match, not because it's sheer. But basically the party after party, is that right? Yeah, party after party. This one here is one that I put in the crease as well to go along with the green. This one here, Cheers to That, is this amazing, it's just gonna look white, but it's like a blue duochrome frosty, it just looks silver there. I can't explain to you. It's got pink and blue undertones in it, and it is more like a pressed glitter, this one, so you have to be wary of that. I know some people don't really love a pressed glitter, but personally I think it's fucking stunning. I really like it. Now as far as I know, this was their summer release. Yep, summer limited edition up here. But personally, I think that the Fashionista one, the one with the greens and the oranges, that is going to do me right through autumn months, because that's exactly the kind of colours I would wear in autumn. The Nightlife one, I absolutely would wear, like, it's not like we're going anywhere. I've been over this already, we're not going on any nights out. But if I was going out on an evening out, and I have a dress that is almost identical to that teal colour, that all over the lid, just blurred out, oh my god, like, I love that colour. I think it's absolutely stunning. I wouldn't even need, I would just have that all over the lid. I know that's a lot to take, it's very dark, but personally, I think that would be fucking stunning. So that one I will definitely use more often throughout winter. And personally, although I think this one is the most user-friendly girls trip, I think this is much more kind of spring summer for me. So I will keep this one not packed away, but I probably will. Sometimes I swap out my makeup, because this drawer is the drawer that I use mostly for my makeup, but generally I'll do a little switcheroo every now and again, because I've got really dark plum colours and things like that for winter that I don't necessarily wear in the summer, and like corals and things like that that I don't wear in the winter that I usually wear in the summer. So I do a little switcheroo every now and again. So I think this one I will probably save for spring summer. But I'm really impressed with the quality of these palettes. They're really good. Sometimes I find with not even just indie brands, but sometimes I think mattes, the formula of matte eyeshadows is pretty difficult to get just right. Metallics and like shimmers are much easier, that when you put them in the eye they're much more forgiving, whereas I feel like matte shadows just aren't that way, so you have to have the formula just right, and I would say that Unique Beauty have certainly done that with this little collection. I think it's amazing. I think obviously you don't need to buy the whole PR box and things like that. I did buy this, I didn't get this sent to me, but I thought I wanted to try all three, so why not just buy it as part of this set of three. But I think just for one of the little palettes alone being £15, I think that's really reasonable. And actually their little quad palettes as well for like £13 are amazing, really good. I'm very impressed, and I will keep my eye out for them in future. Okay, next up is Ace Beauty, and this is the Vintage Dawn palette. I have mentioned this a couple of times now, and I think they had a whole, yeah, I had a whole video, like a get ready with me video using it as well, like a first impressions. I haven't used it too much since then, but that's because I've had a lot of other stuff I've just been trying out and working through. I really want to try and work these colours a little bit more, the blues and things like that. I've not used them enough, but the warm tones I've been using loads. I just pull it out, slap it on my eyelid and go. Obviously I've got a bit of colour on today, and you've seen me do like my Pat McGrath one, I've done like mad purple colours and all that, but on a day-to-day basis I do actually really like one and done eye looks. I know, I'm sorry, I'm kind of fucking boring that way, but it's true. I do like that kind of just wash of something on the lid and then be able to go, and I find this palette is wonderful for that, and it has colours that you can just have a little bit of dimension. I know if these two weren't there, it would be a very warm toned palette. I think these two just make it a little bit different, and some of the looks that I've seen on Ace Beauty's Instagram, people using this alongside these is way beyond my talent of being able to do makeup. It's unbelievable. So yeah, I just have to get a bit more used to it and try it a little bit more and just be a bit more adventurous, I suppose. But I think this palette is wonderful. I took this away with us when we went up to the north of Scotland. It was the only palette that I took. I found I was able to use it every day. It wasn't like I was looking at it thinking, what am I going to do today? All these colours are wild. They're very user friendly, to be fair. And it's like a little paint box almost, but not with neon brights. It's like a muted paint box, and I really like that. What I'm going to say is as well is that I find the quality of the mattes in comparison to the shimmers and these as well, the mattes are good. I don't find them to be quite as good as Unique. I think on a whole, this palette as a one and done type thing, it's better than Unique is not the right way to say it. Basically, I think this is a one and done, and I can pick this up and go, I can throw it in my bag and I know I've got everything I need. I'm not worried about, well, what am I going to make a look with? The Unique palettes, because of the range of colours that are in each individual palette, I did have to dip into a couple of different palettes. I don't think I could just take one of the little palettes and be safe. But this is obviously a very much one and done. I do find that the mattes in this are really good, but I thought the Unique ones were better, I'm not going to lie. The shimmers in this as well are amazing. Like, I can't fault the shimmers, but again, I think shimmers are something that are a little bit easier to achieve, easier to work with as well, and I am not a professional makeup artist, so for me, shimmers are a little bit of a cop-out. Okay, I know. I really like this, and I look forward to continue using it. I think it was wonderful. I think even as we do come into summer, these yellows, they're just lovely. This one, Sun, it's like straight up sunny golden yellow. It's not like, you know when people say, oh, it's a gold colour, but it's like a champagne gold, or it's a gold colour, but it's yellow gold. This is a yellow gold, but it's like sunshine yellow. It's not like this one here that is much more of a kind of straight up yellow, like not even lemon. It's not even a lemon yellow. Hello, Alana from the future here. Sorry, you're probably wondering right now, why is there a picture of Stephen King's It on the screen? Well, this is what the colour I was trying to explain, so I thought I would pop in and explain that is why this picture is here. This is exactly the kind of colour I meant. And otherwise you'd just probably be thinking, girl has lost her Halloween mind. What is she talking about? So that is why that picture is there. This is the colour I meant to explain. Sorry about that. It's like a raincoat colour yellow. You know when you see people in like a yellow raincoat, and like that is the colour, whereas this one here is like sunshine, actual sunshine. It's amazing. I do need to work with this palette quite a wee bit more. I've not done enough looks with it, but But as I said, this is my own fault because I've fucking bought millions of palettes and haven't had enough eyes to put them on, to be frank. But I thought this was really, really good. I think for the price as well, I certainly will keep my eye out for more Ace Beauty. I thought this was really, really nice wee palette. I don't know if I would buy any of their really extreme massive ones just because I don't feel I need it. But this, for the size of it, for the quality of it, for the one and done style of it, really, really like. And my final palette is from Lethal Cosmetics. Look at that. That is sexy, isn't it? That's what, is it Teresa says is Alien Slut? I feel like that might be Alien Slut, possibly. This is from a brand called Lethal Cosmetics. They are based in Germany. Now, this was a palette I put together myself. I did buy it myself. Everything today I've bought myself. But this was a palette I put together myself. This palette alone, I will put all the links and things down below to let you know prices. I'm not going to write them all off. It just so happened I was looking at Unique Beauty. I was on their site. But this palette came as like a little 9-pan palette. And I put the colours in. So I picked these colours, I bought them, I wanted them in there. Can you tell I like that teal colour? Yeah. So I only got 2 frosts with this. I'd actually say, I think I mentioned it before in one of my favourites. This one is more metallic and this one is more like an actual shimmer, like a frosty shimmer. I did wear this in my most recent roundup, I think it was, my monthly roundup. And I have to say that I really like the greens. What I'm going to say, this one up here by the way is not a white, it's like a duochrome green, just so you know, because it's kind of on the neutral level there, but it's not neutral. So what I'm going to say is, I felt like the shimmers in this palette, the metallics, the only 2 that I have in it, are out of this world. Like, they're amazingly good. The quality of them is better than the majority. Like, I've just bought that Pat McGrath one. I would say the quality of these to the Pat McGrath, although they're not duochrome, for metallics is absolutely up there. The metallics are unbelievable. The mattes, I'm not feeling exactly the same about. I'm wondering if it's because of me, my skill level. I am not that adept at it. Sometimes though, I've been finding, maybe I've just picked the wrong colours to go together, because sometimes I'm like, right, I'll put some green down and then I'll layer it up with this, or the way I'm trying to do it when using this palette, and I picked these colours, this is absolutely my fault, it gets a bit muddy. And I don't know if that's just because I'm a bit shit at makeup, I'm crap, but I do find they stick to my lid a little and I'm a bit like, come on, just blend out a little better. And not all of them are like that. For instance, this one is gorgeous. The 2 kind of neutral ones are absolutely fine because you probably get away with neutral a bit more. You're not going to notice it if it's dark. I found this one here, which is, wait, I'll tell you the name of it. There, that's it. It's called Recluse. This one here, Recluse, it's like it probably looks more yellow in my camera, but it's actually more like an olive green. I found this extremely difficult to work with. That one, and probably the more army green colour. What colour is this? Hold on. Syncope. This one here, Syncope. I thought that would be really, really nice, especially with Recluse, because they're quite close. Now I thought that was going to be really, really nice as like a bit of a buddy, and a bit of a buddy to this one here, which is Eden. So basically I thought these 3 are going to work really well together, these are going to work really well together, possibly the, you know, you can bring green, like today I've got browns with a green, and I thought they would work really well, but they didn't. And I'm not sure if that is because I've just picked a shitty colour palette. I thought it looked like a gorgeous autumnal colour palette. Or if I'm just really shit at makeup and I can't make them work together. Is that all it is? I tried this one because this is a gorgeous like brown kind of deep warm colour, like terracotta almost. That's it there. And I thought that along with the greens would just be really complementary. But I'm going to admit it, I don't think that their mattes are up to the standard of their shimmers. I'm sorry, but I would rather be honest with you. And I do actually think that the shadows are lovely. I think there's a million other companies out there that do matte shadows so much worse. I'm not for a second saying that their matte shadows are not good, but in comparison to their metallics and their shimmers, they're just not on par. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like with the Vintage Dawn palette, the mattes are ever so slightly patchy. but I feel like they're on par. For what's in the palette, I feel like the metallics in here are on par with the mattes. The mattes aren't the best in the world, but I think they work well with the other shadows. As I say, this was a shadow that was put together by professionals. This is one I put together, so I don't know if that is just my own fault. They are very, very soft, which again is nice, and it's almost that way where you've seen lots of people speak about the, oh, what palette was it? The Anastasia one that everybody was like, oh, the fallout's crazy, it's mental. They're very, very soft, and I could see them being a similarity to that. I never tried the Anastasia one, so I'm not saying it's the same, but what I'm thinking is these are really soft, like even to touch, they are buttery soft. I think it's me. I think I am maybe not as good at makeup as I maybe thought, you know, because I thought it was fucking amazing. But I just feel like they don't play well together. That does not mean that I would be put off buying Lethal Cosmetics again. Palette came out with a colour story that they had put together that I really liked. Yeah, I would probably be inclined to pick it up. Or if I wanted to put my own palette together again, or buy singles to kind of swap in and out with these ones, then I would probably pick up more metallics and make this more of a kind of metallic palette that I would have to reach for, and not my neutrals, because I just don't think that the mattes are as good as their metallics. I'm sorry to say that. They do also have like liquid lips, they do also have like lipsticks, balms, amazing looking eyeliners that are so vibrant, and I've seen Teresa's Dead speak about them as well, and those look amazing, and I would be inclined to actually try them because I thought they looked amazing. So I'm not saying I wouldn't buy from Lethal Cosmetics again. I'm not saying that I wouldn't even try their mattes again. I just don't know if it would be the first thing I would reach for. I don't think it'd be the first thing I put in my basket. I'd rather be honest about that, and I think people have to be open to kind of constructive criticism, and for me the mattes just didn't work as well as I'd hoped for. Sorry. And now we are moving on to lips. So you've heard me speak about it a million times. This is the Shine Theory lip gloss from Nabla. Oh, love it. I think it's gorgeous. I have the shade Toxic Love. It is this unreal pink golden petrol shift. It's so nice. I'm gonna say it is a little sticky, but it's not sticky. It's just traditional lip gloss texture, to be honest with you. Some of the other ones that I'm about to speak about are a lot more of a sheer, more of a lip oil. This one does not have that texture. It's definitely much more traditional lip gloss texture, but it's really fucking nice. I absolutely have had my eye on a few other colours in this range because I think they are amazing, but I'm on a no buy because I've been buying so much shit for the last couple of months. So we're not buying anything through October. So I'll keep my eye out. Maybe I'll put something on the list for Santa as we creep up to Christmas, because I thought this was really nice. I do want to try a few other things from Nabla. I was looking at their blushes on Beauty Bay, but I found, like, again, it's all like single pans for you to put into a kit, maybe aimed more at makeup artists. But some of the highlighters that they've got, they are like molten lava. It's amazing. I would be inclined to try some of them, and I'm not a big like frosty highlight person, but they just look so good and I think I would like to try them. And finally, I'm going to talk about a company called Gloss My Heart. This is a little company that I did do a little IGTV video on, actually showing you how to use this product because it's kind of fucking amazing. You can check them out over on Instagram, and this is basically a lip gloss kit. They sent you, buy the kit, I think the kits are £30. I don't know how much that will be in dollars, I'm afraid. I'm not that adept. And I picked up, this one is the Nudes kit, and I also picked up one of the kits called Zodiac, which is more kind of pinky red tones. And basically you get everything you need in this little pack to make your own lip gloss. Yeah. It's incredibly fun. So this jar actually is empty because I've used all this stuff. This is like your gloss base that you get. You get a little bottle of vitamin E oil. It's in bubble wrap obviously so that it doesn't leak everywhere. You also get like stoppers, top stoppers and stuff like that to put into your empty lip gloss bottles, as you can see here. I also got sent, just because she was very kind, the lady that actually owns Gloss My Heart, she says, I sent you a few squeezy tubes as a little extra. She also sent me an extra lip liner as well. I'll tell you about that in a minute. What happens is she sends your pigments in one of these little velvet bags. So actually I think this is one from the Zodiac kit. So in the Zodiac kit I had like a kind of pearlescent golden red colour. I don't know if you'll see that there. I had a pearlescent kind of pink blue colour, and I had pink glitter as well, so you could mix them in, and just a red pigment. And in the nudes kit, this is actually iron oxide, I want to say. Don't quote me, I'll link it all down below. And you get like this kind of like mustard yellow, a real deep dark almost chocolate brown, and a really deep like red rust brown. Now I actually ended up making with the nudes kit a couple of things, but I also ended up mixing the nudes kit and the Zodiac kit together, because I thought I want like a nude but I like it to be a pinky nude, as we know. Also included are these little like pipettes to get your oil out, your vitamin E oil, syringes as well, so you can actually decant the stuff in. Honestly, like, I'll put down a wee link below exactly to my IGT video so you can see me making one. But as for now, I've got some outtakes of the ones that I've actually made so far. So this one is one that I made with the Zodiac kit and the nudes kit. So there's that like red golden sheen through it, but I also put in some of the kind of more rust iron oxide and a little bit of the white as well, I want to say, like just to lighten it up a little. But this definitely gives a little bit more of a metallic effect on the lips, but not so much so that you look like you've just gave a blowjob to a robot. It's not quite as bad as that. Because I'm not massively into metallic lipsticks. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, fine, you do you. But for me personally, I don't find it overly flattering. But it doesn't give an overly like metallic finish to your lips. I'm sure if you amped it up, you know, less base and a little bit more, or less oil even, and a little bit more of the pigment, you could get it to be really frosty if you wanted it to be, but I didn't want that. Now the actual first lip gloss that I made is the one that I made in my IGTV video. Now this one is much more of a kind of juicy gloss, and it is very kind of red. It does have that kind of gold sheen through it again, and it does also have a little bit of glitter through this one, but minuscule amount. A lot of vitamin E oil in, so this one actually is much more sheer, but I really wanted that. I wanted to go for that. I find this colour and texture goes beautifully over the Glossier Zip, because Glossier Zip is this kind of reddy colour, and if I've got that on, Glossier lipsticks, they can be a little bit drying. They're meant to be like a sheer matte, obviously, so sometimes you just want something to bring a little bit of juice back to your lips, but you don't necessarily want something glossy, and this one is that, because I didn't want it to be a gloss, I wanted it to be more nourishing. So this one is much more of a lip oil, much more of a stain, and I really like this. Now the next one is just a little bit of fun. I actually put this one in a squeezy tube because I knew I'd be more inclined, I probably won't use the squeezy tube quite as often, but it was just purely for fun. Now the squeezy tube doesn't let you see the colours quite as well because it's a bit more of like a frost on the tubing, so I'm going to put a little picture in here of what this colour was, and I will put a swatch in as well so you can actually see it on the back of my hand. So this is a proper Barbie pink, like blue pearlescent shift and glitter gloss. I am not adept to be wearing this kind of colour every single day. It's very unlikely, but I just wanted to have a bit of fun with it, and that's what's brilliant about these kits. It is so much fun. I even thought, you know, I don't want to kidify. Does that makes me sound a bit of a kiddie fiddler? That's not what I meant. I don't want to make this brand sound juvenile, that's what I mean. They're very, their whole aesthetic, their whole ethos about the brand is very like, I want to say kind of 90s goth, and again, if you know me, little goth in disguise here, like I fucking love that. I think it's so good. It's very rock chic, I love it. But I did think, if you had a daughter, even like, you know, anywhere from 7, when you're like, Mum, can I borrow some of your lipstick? Like that age, when it's just fun, when you've got kiddie makeup, to maybe somebody who is, you know, 13, 14, 15, getting a little bit older, and they want to try like, I think this is great fun. Now, I maybe sound really old-fashioned. There'll be people out there watching this being like, bitch, I've got 15-year-old and she would not want that shit. She wants fucking Chanel. But personally, I think this is great. I think it's fun. I think it's fantastic. And I think if you did have a girl, or a boy, doesn't really matter, I don't mean it that way, but if you had a kid and this would be so much fun to do and make with them, and they like glitter and they like things like that, and it's just good fun. And that's kind of what I was thinking of when I made this. I thought, when I was younger, what would I want? Probably a nice bubblegum pink, sparkly, shiny, metallic glitter lip gloss. Why not? And finally, the last one that I made was this like gorgeous chocolate orange colour. This one is from the Nudes kit. This is the one I've got on today, and it is much more of an actual colour, like a little bit like a liquid lip. It has much more pigment to it. But for this time of year, I think this is perfect. This is like, it almost matches my headband. It's the kind of colour that I'm like, yeah, I've just been picking pumpkins and I'm an autumn ass bitch. That's what it makes me think. So basically, I think this is lovely. It's very comfortable still. They're all very comfortable. It's down to the amount of vitamin E oil that you put in that makes it more like an oil or a gloss. I didn't put as much in this, but still very, very comfy. Love the colour, love the effect, love that it's still got a bit of shine to it, but the colour is still there. It still looks juicy, but not like super duper glossy. Does that make sense? It's still got a bit of something to it. The only thing I would say with the Nudes kit is, and it does say on their website as well, the titanium oxides or iron oxides are a little bit harder to mix in the pigment. So in my tube here, I don't know if you'll see it, it looks a little streaky, and I think that's just little bits that I haven't mixed up properly. But even at that, I just kind of wiggle it about in the tube like that and then stick it on my lips, and Robert's your mother's brother, basically. Bob's your uncle, you know. From Gloss My Heart, I also picked up 2 lip liners. They do lip liner sets as well, like a whole set of nudes, a whole set of colours, blah blah blah. I picked up number 7, which is this like really nice kind of blood red colour. Just draw it in the back of my hand so you can see. That is it there. Again, this matches perfectly with Glossier Zip. I think the two of them together are lovely. But you could just kind of do this on your lips and then put like the first gloss that I made, the kind of more sheer one, over the top, and it would look grand. And when I got this sent to me, the gorgeous lady that runs Gloss My Heart, the owner, the founder, whatever you want to call it, also sent me this one for free, which was very, very kind of her. She did not have to do that, and I really, really have to say thank you. I appreciate it very, very much. And this is number 14, which is much more of a nude shade, and it is right up my street kind of nude shade because it has that pinky undertone that I look for. So it's almost perfect, my perfect nude colour. I think it's absolutely glorious. It's a little orangey as well, especially for this time of year. I could put it on with this perfectly and it would be so, so nice, but this is glorious. I really, really like it. And so that is it for my indie makeup brand roundup. I remember a few months back saying like, was it my first drunk bingo that I'd done? I was like, we don't get anything over here. Like, I need to know where you get stuff from. And so many people let me know, and I just looked a bit harder as well, I'm not gonna lie, I was just being a bit stupid. But I looked a little bit harder and I found so many good little companies. So I hope you enjoyed this, and with all that being said, tell me about the brands that you like, the brands that you've checked out, the indie brands, the ones that people don't really know about so well. Is there any more that I need to know about? Kaleidos, I've seen Lauren over at Bizarre Gardening Accident talking about them, and I have noticed them over the last few months, but again, it's one that I would need to get shipped from the US, and I always kind of feel a bit funny about that. I'm like, oh, the taxes, all that kind of stuff. The charges, the things they charge you for, I don't know. So a lot of the time, like, I'm just a little, don't know if I want to order from the US. So if anybody knows about anything else that is based here in Europe or is available here in Europe, like via Beauty Bay or Beautylish or wherever, let me know and let me go and look, because I'm a bit addicted. What can I say? Anyway, that is all for now. I hope you're all having a great autumn, October, whatever, feeling like a pumpkin bitch, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye.